What's up, people? The fight is nearly upon us. We're only a few days away now, and a few people have asked me on my YouTube channel. I'm pointing over there. I don't know why, maybe because my laptop's over there, but a few people have asked me on my YouTube channel and on my Twitter page, why are you not following me on Twitter? Can you please start following me on Twitter? My numbers are pathetic. I'd like to at least get 1,000 followers. I'd feel like somebody with 1,000 followers. Right now, I think I'm on like 500, 600, which is, for the amount of shit I tweet, it's fucking poor. It's poor. Anyway, a lot of people ask me about the David Haye factor. Will it play a part? Do I think it's a good thing, bad thing, blah, blah, blah. I have spoken about this before, and I kind of said that I think David Haye will add, I don't know, another 5%, I think I said, to Derek Chisora. I have to backtrack on that a little bit. I think he adds a bit more than that. I still think there is a bit of grey area as to why David Haye is there. I mean, is it to be a manager and get Derek Chisora the best deal? If so, look, I think he'll tick that box 100%. I think financially this will be Derek Chisora's biggest fight, and I think this will be financially his best deal as well. David Haye has managed his career by himself with no promoter. Remember, it's been Haymaker Promotions for years, and he always seems to be getting a good deal. So I think if he's brought him on board because of financial negotiations, then it's fantastic for Derek Chisora. If he's brought him on for more than that, then I think Derek Chisora is getting a great deal. There is talk about him helping Derek Chisora with nutrition and strength and conditioning. We know David Haye always looks in fantastic shape. Always has been in fantastic shape. Always, I think, almost leading the pack when it comes to trying out different things when it comes to nutrition and strength and conditioning. So look, if he's brought him in for that, again, a tick box. What I hope he's brought him in for, and this is no slate on Don Charles, but what I hope he's brought him in for is just to hear another voice. Derek Chisora and Don Charles have been together for a very, very long time. I know there was I think there was one fight, and it might have been after the Tyson Fury loss, where Derek Chisora went somewhere else. Maybe 2 fights, but obviously went straight back to Don Charles. So they've been together since Derek Chisora turned pro, which is a very, very long time. And I do think listening to the same person in training camp can be very mundane, almost boring, right? You know exactly what you're going to get, even in terms of the way they set up fights, in terms of the way they do their sparring, how things are laid out on the table, the fight preparation. That must get very boring. To listen to someone else, especially if Don Charles has allowed David Haye to kind of have an input in the training camp, I think it's very, very good. I've been to a few training camps of David Haye in preparation for his fights. Just as a journalist, I've been there, I've watched him, and yes, he does have a big ego, but he is very, very smart, very, very intellectual. And when he talks, I mean, I don't know, I still feel there's two different sides. The side that we see on TV, which is very, I need to sell this, sell that, sell this, very car salesman. But then there's the guy behind closed doors that is very, very smart. And he's got some very, very smart people around him. You think of Adam Booth, very smart. His former trainer, Ishmael Salas, very smart. I even think people like Shane McGuigan and Barry McGuigan, again, very smart people. And I feel like David Haye's taken a little bit from everyone. He's a very, very smart person. And I think another ear in the camp, another voice in the camp is a good thing. I really do think it is. I also wonder, and I was thinking about this, I also wonder if he'll be in the corner when it comes to fight night. I don't know if he's taken that big a part in it, but I did look at, and I remember thinking about this, when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder. And obviously in the lead up was just Ben Davison. Then Ricky Hatton joined. And at the very, very last minute, Freddie Roach joined. And I remember looking at the corner every time Tyson Fury went back to the corner. And I just thought, wow, this is almost like a super team, right? A super team. And I'm not trying to say David Haye and Don Charles make a super team. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think having David Haye in the corner, just words of advice when the rounds start to get tough, might be a good thing. So I think David Haye brings a lot to the table. It's whether or not Derek Chisora almost soaks it all up. If he can soak up a bit of what David Haye's bringing, I don't know. I mean, I said it adds another 5%. If it adds another 10%, is 10% enough to get past DILLIAN WHYTE? It might be, right? It might be. A lot of people think this is a close fight. And I think any extra addition that can be a plus for the camp, whether or not it's a voice, whether or not it's strength and condition, whether or not it's just a case of feeding someone's ego and constantly telling them how good they are, and that's what David Haye will do to Derek Chisora, might be something that gets him over the line here. Again, I think it's a tough ask. I think DILLIAN WHYTE is the favorite just because he's the younger and the fresh of the two. But if David Haye can bring anything into a camp, it's confidence, right? That's one thing David Haye kind of just exudes. He exudes confidence. And if he can kind of chuck or sprinkle a bit of that onto DERECK Chisora, he might be worth more than 5%. Like I said, it might be worth 10%, and 10% might get the job done.